Guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to be doing something a bit different from our usual weekly forecast. Today we are going to be talking about support and resistance, and we are going to be dissecting how to identify support and resistance in a chart, guys. So let's quickly dive in. So before we proceed, we are going to be looking at what support and resistance really mean. So resistance is a zone in the market where traders are most likely to sell from. It can also be considered as a supply zone, right here as you can see. So this is the resistance. It's considered as a supply zone where traders are ready to sell from. So it's a zone where traders are much likely or enthusiastic to sell from. So also a support zone is a zone in the market where traders are more likely to buy from. So it can also be considered as a demand zone or a zone in the market where the demand is high. So as you can see, like the diagram right here, this is a very valid support zone. It is a zone where when price comes back to retest, traders are more likely to buy from. Traders have more confidence, to push the market upward by buying from this zone right here. So guys, we have identified what support and resistance really means. So we are going to be looking at different trends in the market. As you can see, this is an uptrend, this is a downtrend, and this is a ranging market. So basically an uptrend is a market trend that is moving upward, a downtrend is a market trend that is moving downward, and a ranging market is a market that is consolidating between two zones. So as you can see, we are also looking to identify is the support and the resistance zone in an uptrend right here. So quickly we are going to be looking at a real case scenario in the live chart, guys, using GBP USD as a case study. You can see from the diagram, is a resistance zone in the uptrend is considered a higher high, while the support zone in an uptrend is considered the higher low right here, guys. So as you can see, price is currently moving upward in between these two zones. This can be considered as a resistance zone because price comes up to retest this zone before dropping. So traders are more likely to sell from this zone. They have more confidence to sell from these zones because this is considered a very valid resistance zone right here. So each time price comes back to the higher high, it drops and forms a higher low before coming back to the higher high, and then drops to the support zone to form a higher low. So we're going to be looking at a downtrend right here. So as you can see on the downtrend is just the opposite of an uptrend. Price is currently moving downward. So as you can see, we can consider this movement as a resistance zone, and this zone right here as a support zone. The resistance zone in the downtrend is considered as a lower high, while the support zone in the downtrend is considered as a lower low. So as you can see, each time price comes back to the lower high, traders are more enthusiastic to sell from the resistance zone. So each time price comes back to the lower low, which is a support zone, traders are more enthusiastic to buy from this zone. So we can consider this a valid resistance zone and a valid support zone. So thirdly, we are going to be looking at a ranging or a consolidating market. Consolidating market is a market that it just keeps moving in between these two zones and it doesn't show any tendency of breaking out. So as you can see, this is a valid resistance zone because each time price comes back to this zone to retest this zone, traders tend to push the market downward by selling, and each time price comes back to retest this support zone in the market, traders tend to push the market upward by buying, by increasing the buying pressure. So these are the three patterns that can likely occur in any chart right here. So quickly we're going to be looking at a real case scenario in the live chart, guys, using GBP USD as a case study. Alright guys, so this is GBP USD on the weekly time frame, so we can spot out key resistance and support zones that we need to be looking out for. So right here on the weekly time frame for GBP USD, we can see that this is the valid resistance zone. Remember I said a resistance zone is a zone that traders are more likely to sell from. So this is a valid resistance zone. As you can see, price came in to test this resistance zone, and then traders increased the selling pressure by pushing price downward before price also came here to test this zone, and traders also increased the selling pressure by pushing price downward to this support. So we can consider this a very valid support, because when price came back to this zone, traders then increased buying pressure by pushing price upward. So we are expecting price to continue upward, to respect this resistance zone right here, possibly break out of it to the next resistance zone just above that. So these are two key resistance zones on the weekly time frame for GBP USD, guys. Daily time frame for GBP USD. So as you can see, there are some marked out zones right here. There's some marked out zones. So another point you need to be taking note is that every time price breaks above a previous resistance, just like right here, and comes back to retest it, it turns it into a valid support zone. And every time price breaks through a valid support zone and comes back to retest it, it turns it into a very valid resistance. As you can see here, price formed a new high right here, came down to retest the previous resistance zone, thereby turning it into a very valid support zone before breaking out of new high formed right here. So we can expect price to give us a new high, which can also be known as a new resistance. We can expect price to move upward to give us a new resistance before coming down at any point to test this previous resistance, thereby turning it into a valid support before continuing to the upside, guys. So right here on the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, we can consider this a very valid support, because price broke out of this previous resistance zone and then came back to retest it. Remember the rule, it turns it into a valid support. So we can consider this a valid support, and we can consider this zone right here a valid resistance zone on the 1 hour time frame, guys. So everything about support and resistance, so basically you need to identify the trend. For every chart, for every market, you need to identify the trend. If it's a downtrend, you can pick out the lower high and the lower low. The lower low is considered as a support, while the lower highs are considered as a resistance zone. And every time price comes to your lower high, you can sell, and every time price goes to your lower low, you can expect to buy. So if it's also an uptrend, then you need to be looking out for the higher lows and the higher highs. The higher highs are considered resistance and the higher lows are considered support. So every time price comes to your higher high, you can expect to sell, and every time price comes to your higher low, you can expect to buy, guys. But remember to take note that every time price comes back to retest a particular zone, the weaker the zone becomes, guys. So that's basically it for this video on support and resistance. Please do well to like and subscribe, and also turn on the notification to our YouTube channel so as to get notified on whenever we post videos on our YouTube channel. And also do well to join our Telegram channel. The link will be displayed on the description of the video below. You can also leave a comment on the topic you'd like us to talk about on our next video, guys. Twitter Spaces, we offer a lot of premium services on our Telegram channel, of which I'm sure you might be interested in, so do well to join us. And we also carry out weekly where we get host great minds and also share ideas and insights. You can do well to join us, get more information on that from our Telegram channel. So guys, that will be it for this week. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same channel. GM guys.